Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela. If you weren't already aware, this is Reading Off My Shelf, and I do want to thank you firstly for clicking on this video. I do hope you enjoy it. So as you can see from the title, what I want to do is show you some alternative books or ways to read some of the classics. So if you're new to reading classic books and you're feeling a little bit intimidated by them, maybe this is the way to go, this is the avenue to go down, just to introduce you to them. These books will give you the basis of the story, and I've found they cover the main plot points in the story. What am I talking about? I'm talking about graphic novels, and I think to consume them in the classics in a graphic novel is a really good introduction. So that I'm holding the first one up here, a one that I've read, and that is Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte novel, one of the most famous classics. I love the Brontes. I love Wuthering Heights. I've read this, I've read the book, I've listened to the audio book, I've seen it on stage, I've even years ago, I want to say in the 90s, early 90s I think it was, if not the late 80s, but I feel it was the early 90s, I went to see the musical Heathcliff, where Cliff Richard played Heathcliff. So the story was from his perspective, so I love that. I've been to Haworth a number of times and walked on the moors and visited the museum and visited the shop, so it is actually one of my favourite books. So I really quite enjoyed reading the story through graphic novels, and like I say, it tells you the story in a shorter version, a quicker version. So we'll put them on there as we go through. One I haven't read yet the graphic novel version of, but I have actually got a couple of copies and read the novel itself, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So hopefully from past experience with these books that it'll be the same experience I've had before, but again, To Kill a Mockingbird is one of my favourite books. This is the one about, it's set in the Deep South, it's in the 1930s, and it's to do with race and injustice. I'm trying to think of her name. She's called Scout. I can't think of her name offhand, but we've got a father. It's Scout, yeah. So you've got children, there's her father, Scout's father, is a lawyer or an attorney. Is it classified as an attorney? Attorney in a small town in Alabama, and it is, well, it says it's a timeless novel. It is. I love the novel itself, so yeah, look forward to actually reading that as a graphic novel, but it's an idea for yourself. Some of these, like I say, I've read. Again, one of my favourite Shakespeare's stories is A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I think this is going to be, actually I'm looking on the back, there's quite a series of these ones. So we've got A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, Macbeth, Much Ado and Nothing, Romeo and Juliet, and The Tempest. So I'm looking forward. I haven't actually read this version of it, but I have. I'm just looking here. Yeah, it does. So the graphics are usually quite colourful, but this one, A Midsummer Night's Dream, is one of my, again, it's my favourite Shakespeare. Between that and I love Taming of the Shrew. So yes, now I would think obviously these are possibly targeted originally, I suppose, maybe to children, to introduce the stories again to the masses, but in a graphic novel this is quite short, so that, you know, sitting down with a cup of coffee and reading that one. And I would, like I say, I maybe will pick some more up at the door. This one I'm actually going to read at Christmas. which is hinted here, is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, because this is the story I usually read on Christmas Eve, and this year I'm going to try it as a graphic novel. I don't know if my things are there. I don't know, they are. My Christmas Carol. So yeah, something to read at Christmas. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but a quick way to consume it, a different way to consume it, and I will obviously give my feedback after Christmas, or around, well, it will be after Christmas because I'll probably read it on Christmas Eve, because hopefully I'm not working Christmas Eve, I think. So yeah, we've got Christmas Carol to read. Book I read, was it last year? I think it was last year. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Again, I've read the actual, oh, that's a bit, we'll not show you those pictures, that's a little bit graphic, excuse, yeah, bit graphic. But George Orwell's Animal Farm, I read this book, not this graphic novel one, the novel, I think it was last year, if not last year, the 2023, the years pass quickly. But again, I was interested to see how it sort of translates into a graphic novel. Now this seems to be a little bit set up, a little different, but I'm interested. But again, if you haven't read this and you're interested in reading Animal Farm, maybe this is a good way to consume it. I'm just reading about the first ever graphic novel version of Animal Farm. What happens when a revolution by the downtrodden animals of Manor Farm goes horribly wrong. So yes, an eye-opener, that book, an eye-opener, isn't it? I think message, definitely a message. Although obviously George Orwell always gives us there is actually 1984 as well. I've got that on my Amazon wish list. It's one of the ones that I maybe would purchase as well, just to see, because I read 1984 years ago. That was definitely in the early 2000s. I've read that years ago. Recently read Pride and Prejudice. I read this the graphic novel version of it for Jane Austen July, which unfortunately I never got the video up because I was trying to transfer the footage from my phone, it just wouldn't transfer onto my laptop. I hope the lighting's okay here. I've got a lamp on behind us. The window's over here. I don't want to put the ring light on because I think it reflects too much on my glasses. So I do apologise if the lighting keeps changing. But yes, I quite enjoyed consuming Pride and Prejudice in July for Jane Austen July with this. It's nice, sort of, again, I know I keep saying a quick read, but it covered all the main parts, the main plot. I'm not telling you the sort of synopsis of these stories, because these, as I say, are classics and probably quite well known, and if you're a reader, you probably know them anyway. And finally, which I am looking forward to because this is one of my favourite, when I saw this one, I was quite excited. I haven't read it yet. I've read I like most of them, yeah, all of them. I've read the actual novels, but when I saw this is one of my favourite novels, and certainly one of my favourite Agatha Christie, and that is Death on the Orient Express. Oh, I've got a bookmark there. Obviously I was planning to, but I mean, the illustrations are just beautiful, and I think again this will be a lovely way to consume it. I'm looking forward to picking this up. This is, you know, it's got chapters in it. Yeah, and like I say, love. I've seen I've read Murder on the Orient Express. I've seen the I wasn't say the David Suchet, is that one? His version of it that he did for, I'm saying the BBC, I think BBC did Poirot, didn't they? I've seen the Kenneth Branagh version of it and love them, but I love the story. I love how it all comes together, and obviously I'm not going to tell you much other than that there's literally a murder on the Orient Express, and obviously because the Orient Express gets stuck in a snowstorm and the murder is committed, so therefore it's very sort of closed, isn't it? You've only got I can't think of the word, but where it's just a locked room, would you say? It's that kind of, along the lines of you've only got certain people that they're on the train. All these are the only people that can be the suspects, so it has to be somebody that's on the train because, as I say, they've got stuck in the snowdrift, and it's how it unfolds. And it's another one I can reread even though I know what happens. So yeah, so some suggestions. Just I thought I'd do a little bit because but I have you know, I've been quite enjoying these. Like I say, I think are nice if you just fancy maybe an afternoon and you think, do you know, I want to read a classic, I want to read it quickly, and I think, you know, I'll pick up a graphic novel, read that, and you know, I've quite enjoyed it. Cup of coffee, snuggle up, especially this time of year when it's a bit chillier outside, just picking up a graphic novel. And I've actually, like I say, put a few of them on my Amazon wish list. I've looked and thought, oh, I quite fancy that, or you know. And I also, I think sometimes comparing them, if you've read the novel and then comparing them and thinking, you know, does it live up to the original novel? So yes, so I've got Murder, the ones I've got at the moment in my collection: Murder on the Orient Express, Pride and Prejudice, sorry, that was going to my book trolley, which I can recommend. I enjoyed that. Obviously it doesn't go into as much detail, but it does tell you the story, and I think there's enough in it. We have Animal Farm, Christmas Carol, which, as I say, I'm planning to read in the next couple of months. A Midsummer Night's Dream. I might pick this up very shortly, actually. I might pick this up very shortly. I'm excited about that one. I don't think Whether to Kill a Mockingbird would actually be an afternoon read, but again, I think I'll pick this up shortly, and just to compare it, refresh, reread the classic. And I think this is it. Even if you have read them before, it's just a nice quick way to reread them. And of course, Wuthering Heights, which was actually the first one that I bought, graphic novel I bought to read. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please do give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so, because it costs you nothing, and it brings a smile to my face if you want to bring a smile to my face. And comment down below, have you read graphic novels of the classics? If so, do you agree with me that they're a good way to consume them, or do you think they don't give you the full story? Or, you know, is it a yay or nay with you with the graphic novel? I think, like I say, especially probably younger people or children, or you know, that just to introduce, I think they are a good way to introduce you to the classics. So comment down below, tell me if you've read them, what you think of them, what you view. And we all have our own views, don't we? Some books we like, some books we don't like, and maybe you think that it's just better to read the full novel. It was just an idea to show you. Yeah, and I also do put in my description box below any links, so sort of my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I can't think what else is there, So yeah, in the description box below, any links that you might need to any of my other social media, because I know I always forget to mention them. And yeah, if you did want to look on my Amazon wish list, even if it just gives you an idea of the sort of books that I like, then please do so. But certainly check out my other social media. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you very shortly in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.